Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here live, and thank you so much to everyone who's going to watch the replay of this. I am here with our sister, Miss LaSonya McDonald. She was introduced to me by our great sister, Aunt Kathy. I hope you watched our live stream last night where it was full of tears, laughs, smiles, and just melanin popping for over an hour. But talk about a great sisterhood, LaSonya McDonald. How are you tonight?
I'm doing wonderful, Tieesha. How are you?
Doing great. I see we are twinning tonight with the shoulders out, and you are goals for me to, continue with my push-ups and my upper body. Look at you,
Yes.
LaSonya. And this was unplanned. This was unplanned. We cut on the cameras and we're like,
Right. Right.
but
Winning.
a brief intro, and I'm gonna let LaSonya, really introduce herself. But she is our sister, but she's my fellow Ohio sister, my inspiration Navy veteran. She is a bodybuilder. She's an author. I have her book here. I'm going to talk about it tonight, and the link to purchase her book is in the description. It's called Run Your Race: Life Lessons of a Sprinter, which is available right now on Amazon or through LaSonyaMcDonald.com to get your autographed copy. LaSonya is a
Yes.
bodybuilder. Her story tonight, going from 220 pounds with, health issues to being a bodybuilder to completing a marathon with the Marines. Okay. This is going to be an amazing story tonight. She's going to talk to us about how to reset your life. And her book is full of life lessons to coach you through wherever you're at. So I don't think I can sing your praises enough, and you're just amazing. If you want to talk to us tonight, tell us who you are and just the great things about you.
Well, I thank you again, my sister. So, again, my name is LaSonya McDonald. I was in the Navy. I served 21 years. So, I am a retired Navy veteran. And I am from Canton, Ohio, born and raised. And so now I live in Las Vegas, and that's where I decided to retire. And so right now, me as a retired veteran, I had to find out something to do to keep myself motivated, to keep myself feeling upbeat. And so, like Tieesha said earlier, I decided to go on my journey to getting myself healthy, and in turn being able to help my fellow brothers and sisters to, start their journey or restart their journey if that's the case. So tonight we're here. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those questions. And I'm just here today to share with you a little bit more about my journey.
Thank you so much for that. And tonight, I just want to say greetings to Brother Daryl from North Carolina. He's always here supporting us and just a great brother. So thank you so much. Thank you to everybody else who is here. LaSonya welcomes your questions on fitness, anything in regards to fitness, health, beauty. We are Sagittarian, so we just do it all. So we are a jack of all trades. We have a little bit of expertise in everything. So she welcomes your questions. And can you tell us really quick about your platforms? I mentioned your book, and can you tell us what else, what else you have going on, your YouTube channel, and how, what programs you have available to our audience tonight?
Yes, so my YouTube is LaSonya McDonald, so it's my name. And I'm also, follow me on Instagram, which is LaSonya.McDonald. And I also have a business Facebook page, which is titled LaSonya McDonald Unlimited. So be sure to go over there and get some motivational, inspirational talks, as well as.
Oh no, it froze. Yeah.
On my website, there we go. What I have is called a fitness bundle. And so you would get a 30-minute consultation call with me. You would get me as your fitness accountability coach for 14 days. And we will work together to create you a fitness plan. And normally that bundle is $125, but from today through Friday, I am actually having a special where that bundle is going to be $50. So because I'm really passionate about helping my fellow brothers and sisters get their fitness journey going. And so I don't want something like, oh, well, I can't do it right now to be the excuse, because if we do delay, a lot of times we'll never get started. And also for the first 2 people who sign up, you will get me as your fitness accountability coach for an additional 2 weeks, additional 14 days. So for a total of 28 days, you get to deal with me calling you every day, motivating you, checking on where you are with your fitness goals, your eating and everything, your mental well-being, so as well as your nutrition. All of that I will be checking on with you for those 28 days for the first 2 people between the end of this video today and midnight tonight. So be sure to, go on the website and do that. Or if you prefer, you can do it via my Cash App is $sign FitwithLaSonya, or my PayPal, which is LaSonya McDonald, 8.com, at gmail.com, excuse me. So.
Wonderful. So yes, I'm here to just hear about your journey. Can you tell us about when you retired and what was going on where you went up to 220 pounds? What was going on in your life at that time?
So what was going on is I was recently getting ready to retire from the Navy, and I began my move here to Nevada, and I had a lot of stressors going on, a lot of things of, wondering, what am I going to do now? What, can I expect not being a Navy chief anymore? Now I'm a civilian. What do I do? And the stress began to build, and the weight also began to pile on. I got up to 220 pounds, and everything started to hurt. Everything. My knees, my shoulders. I had high blood pressure. At one point, I had acid reflux disease. And I noticed then that stress was a big factor in the weight gain, but at the same time, my eating habits were terrible. And so that also caused me to have just times where I'm like, I don't know what to do. Let me eat. I'm sad. Let me eat. The only difference is when I was like really, really upset, I wouldn't eat, which in itself also can cause a negative effect on your health and your weight, So for me, all of those things were happening, trying to figure out how to take care of my family, trying to, just live in my new normal, which was now a civilian in the, everyday world versus being in the Navy. And so once all those things began to happen, I would actually be afraid to get on the scale. When I did get on it, that's what my weight was. So chances are I may have weighed more than 220, but that was just the date when I had the courage to step on there. So all of those things together caused what, made me feel like I wasn't myself anymore.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that is amazing, because we still have a lot of friends and subscribers who are active duty and getting ready to retire. So that's really amazing that you let them know, like, hey, this, this change, it's going to happen. Your body is going to react to it. And it's a way to let them know, you don't have to spiral out of control. You can start to get a grip on it now. So, can you tell us about your most memorable time in the Chiefs mess? Because, and for those who don't know what the Chiefs mess is, it's the rank of E7 and above on the enlisted side. You get to change your uniform, get to wear khakis and wear anchors and just
People
be.
confuse you for an officer, and you're like, no, I'm not an officer, I'm a chief.
Chiefs are like the coolest thing. Like you always want a good chief, and I can tell. Even though we did not work together, he tells a little bit about your rate in the Navy and just your most memorable time in the Chiefs mess.
Okay, yeah. So when I was in the Navy, I was what is called a chief hospital corpsman, which is the enlisted version of medical. So in the civilian, that would be equivalent to a nurse. And so we did everything from draw blood to giving shots to, helping the pharmacist with prescriptions. So as a hospital corpsman, you did that, you did admin. We were kind of like the jack of all trades of the Navy, because we also inspected the food facilities to ensure that it was safe, for everyone on the base. And as a preventive medicine technician, we would also inspect the barbershops, the swimming pools, everywhere that, communicable diseases or everywhere that anyone could potentially get sick. Those were the places we had to go and check and make sure that they were fit for all of the service members on the base. And so I would say my most memorable, my most memorable moment was actually when I made chief.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Afghanistan.
Wow.
And so my children, of course, were here back in the States. And that journey, I didn't really want to go, but I felt it was necessary. So when I went, there were 5 E6s, which is the rank before you can be eligible for chief. And there were 5 of us all eligible for chief. And the morning the results came out, there was the higher up, the command master chief, had someone call and say, Petty Officer McDonald, you need to go over to, medical. You need to go over to medical. So, I went over there and they were kind of looking at me and everyone was just kind of like looking at me as I walked by. And I'm like, what? And, it was a bunch of chiefs and they just kind of looked and was like, and I'm like, okay, I'm missing something. What is it? And so I go in the command master chief's office and he's like, so sit down. And I was like, okay, what did I do? I'm not like, I have gold stripes still on my retired uniform. I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. What did I do? Because we didn't know the results had come out yet. Mm-hmm. And so he said to me, so how does it feel? I was like, how does what feel? And he was like, to be the only E6 to actually get selected for chief over here.
Wow.
I just remember saying, what? Are you kidding me? And then all the other chiefs started coming up. So it was almost like instantly I became a part of the mess prior to being indoctrinated. But that whole experience going through the process in, the battlefield and keeping my mindset together to make sure that I was safe at the same time I did what I needed to. And the morning that I was pinned, I was like half asleep. One eye was open, one eye was closed, and I was walking. I had on an Army uniform because as medicine, we were serving an Army mission. So I had on an Army uniform, and this soldier walks up to me. He's like, Chief, can you tell me where I can find, the medical bay? Which, he was going the opposite direction from me. And I'm like, oh, yes, it's actually, keep down here. And after he left, instantly, for me, being a part of the Chief's mess became very real because every branch knows what a chief is. And from that point on, that's when I realized that my goals and my mission in the Navy were going to be to service my fellow service members. And so it was just a really eye-opening experience because they were like, yeah, he was supposed to come to you. You're a chief. You're the chief is what they would say. So that, was the thing that when I went to the chief's mess and I'm like, this soldier just walked up to me and was like, hey, chief, I've been a chief for 2 hours. And the thing is, they don't know that. And as a chief, you have to know once you put those anchors on, you are the subject matter expert. You are the person that they come to get their questions answered. And so for me, that was like the most amazing thing because I was like, wow, this is like really real. And this is really happening. Yes.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you so much for all your sacrifices. Make sure your children, you give them big hugs for us because it also affects the entire family sacrifices. So thank you so much. And just being that example for us, who are active duty. I'm pretty sure many looked up to you. And this leads right into my next question. So you spent your entire naval career, 21 years, helping others like myself, who was always at sick call and, always hurt, but helping others achieve, I don't know the proper word, but performance ready health or to be, duty ready. But but once you retired, it looks like you had to take a moment and really learn how to take care of yourself. And, can you tell us your journey from 220 pounds to your first marathon, then to bodybuilding? Can you tell us what was going on in your life and how you went from 220 to bodybuilder to completing your marathon?
Absolutely. For me, like I was saying, when I did retire, one of the things that I noticed was I did have that mindset. I'm supposed to take care of the troops. I'm supposed to make sure that everyone is okay. When I got out of the Navy, I realized that I still had that same mindset. I have to take care of everybody else. I have to make sure that everyone else is okay. And in the midst of that, I forgot to take care of me. And so while doing that, I noticed myself becoming drained and I noticed myself feeling like I have to make sure everybody else is happy first. I have to make sure everybody else is taken care of first, that I began to neglect myself, which is where the weight gain came into play because I wasn't exercising as much as I was when I was in the Navy. And so when those things began to happen, I was at a point in my life where I just wanted to give up. I did not care, I had to, but at the same time, I'm making sure those around me are taken care of. But when it came to me, it was like, I don't have time for me. And one night I just was to the point where I said, I can't do this anymore. I give up. I don't care. And then I heard, which I now realize was my ancestors, but you have to care. And you have to take care of yourself first, because if you're not here, who's going to take care of everybody else? They'll figure it out, was the answer that I got.
Wow.
And so if you continue to put yourself last, then you become that person who, is what they say, burning your candle on both ends or running on fumes. And it's a very terrible feeling to have. And so one day I just said, you know what? Enough is enough. I've done enough crying. I've done enough, just neglecting myself as a whole. I was like, I am going to try to lose weight. And so when I started to lose weight, it felt good. And I'm like, oh, everybody else is still in one piece. Okay. I kind of like this. This is working. I can do this. And then I got to a point where I said, I want to run a marathon. Now, in the Navy, we run enough with packs and boots and medical. We had an extra pack because if somebody dropped, we had to run to them and help. So I wondered, why do I want to run a marathon? Because to me, I felt like everyone cannot say that they ran a marathon. And if I can do that, there's nothing that I cannot do. And so I convinced myself to run one. And when I did, it was the most amazing feeling in the world. I ran the Marine Corps Marathon in Arlington, Virginia. And at the end, I was just like, I made it. I made it. It was such a celebration. And the next day, I could barely blink my eyelashes because everything hurt, everything. And I just used that next 2 days to just reflect and celebrate on what it was that I accomplished. And from there, it caused me to want to do more. I was like, I want to do a bodybuilding competition. And I've always wanted to do one. But I was like, girl, you got to go up on that stage and people going to see you. Yeah, that's the point. You're going to have on a bikini. You sure you want to do that? The conversations with myself while I'm trying to say I want to do it. And when I actually did it, I had every emotion in the world. I was happy. I was irritated. I would have days where I would be crying and be like, why am I crying? I'm up here doing, 4 sets and 3 reps. Why am I crying? Because that process in itself helped to build me up into the woman that I am today, to let me know, never give up, and to let anyone on, this live today to know, never give up. Do not give up on yourself. Don't stop. Do not quit, because regardless of what it looks like right now, you can achieve what it is you want to do. All you have to do is reset your mind. So you got to push that reset button and say to yourself, I'm going to do this. And so I got up there with my pretty blue purple bikini on, and, I had twists in my hair at the time. So I know they was probably like, okay, first of all, her hair ain't normal style, but that's okay. And I was the most melanated thing up there. Of course, there was only 5 of us. And they're like, oh, you have to get a tan, because they said the tan helps to even out your skin tone in case you have lighter spots. So, I did the tan, and the lady was so happy. She was like, oh my gosh, I finally get to spray tan a dark-skinned woman, because everyone always says, no, I don't need that. And then they get up there and their body is off balance. And it's amazing, because the tan, everyone got one. And that just goes to show that melanin reigns supreme. All of our melanin tones reign supreme, because they know with the tan, your muscles are defined more. And so that's the reason why everyone has to get one. But when I stepped off that stage, I didn't care if I got last place. I was like, Sonya, you did it. You got up here. You smiled. You rocked it. And my trainer, shout out to him, Mike Waters. He was there, and he was, proud of me. And he was like, for someone who in 3 months' time went from, because at that point, this was December of 2018 to March of 2019, I was actually about 180 at that point. And I got my body fat down, and he was just so pivotal in helping make that happen for me. And, LaToya Watts, she helped me with my posing, and Reggie helped me with my torture sessions, which were the extreme cardio sessions. But with those people, they were my tribe in helping me to achieve that goal. And I am so grateful for all of them, because like I said, that helped me to become, basically, you become unstoppable in achieving your goals once you set your mind to do what it is that you say you want to do.
I just want to say thank you so much for that. And like I said, yes, shout out to your trainers, because I saw your pictures, your medals. Oh my God. Yes, you did that. If you're not a friend or following her, we're talking to Miss LaSonya McDonald tonight. She is, like I said, Navy veteran, author, our sister, bodybuilding competitor. She's completed a marathon. and she's now a fitness coach. She has just something for every part of you to really hit that reset button and just reemerge as the best you. I know it's cliche to say living your best life, but you absolutely are. You really are, and you're so inspirational. If I could take a moment to share a passage from your book. Her book here is Run Your Race, Life Lessons of a Sprinter. And I read your book during Kwanzaa of 2019. I read your book during Kwanzaa. I took off, and it was just such I mean, I don't know if this is offensive, but it was such an easy read. It really it's such an easy, it's not over my head. It's like having a conversation with, my big sister. And that's just how your book is. And I love it. It's like, okay, you're really giving me words of wisdom and knowledge. And if I could share one of my favorite life lessons, it is life lesson number 10. Stop guessing yourself about whether you'll be able to achieve your goals. Don't worry about what the result will be. Just run your race. And if I can tell you how that changed me, everybody knows like last year I drove across country twice. And before I started driving April 1st of 2019. And the day before was the day that on May 31st, Nipsey Hussle was murdered. Rest in power to him. And his album was called the Marathon. His story is the marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And you just kept reiterating and putting that in my head as I was reading. But the day I started driving, I had 2,800 miles to drive. And I just saw it as this huge drive, 40 hours, 2,800 miles. And if I cried, within my first 5 miles, I'm behind the wheel just crying, I'm panicking, and I'm just a mess. But I saw it as one leg of the race until I got to the end. Running that marathon, do not give up. And it's all in your head. It really is. Because it's times, on the road, you get tired or you get bored. You're like, why am I doing this? I could just catch a flight and be there in 3 hours, But applying your life lessons to my drive this year, I just drove it again. I drove the same distance again this year. And I was just so peaceful. I was so peaceful on the road, just taking your life lessons that are just ingrained in my mind and just taking one bit of this marathon at a time. So that's how I apply your life lessons to my life. So once again, LaSonya's book is Run Your Race, Life Lessons of a Sprinter. And can you tell us what motivated you to write this book?
So I wrote this book. I started writing this book after I finished my bodybuilding competition. And what clicked to me was, like I said, my ancestors were really pivotal in helping, me to understand and become clear on what it was that my purpose is at this point in my life. And so after I finished my competition, I sat down and I knew there were things that I wanted to do. I've had all of these experiences in life that all of a sudden began to come to me. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. I was running. And then I'm like, okay. And when I started track, I learned a lot during that time. I was running. In the Navy, I was running. Then I began to not like running as much. But then I ran the marathon, and just the movement of life and how I related it to running, just all instantly, I got a complete download. And so I just got on my computer and I began to write. And as I wrote, the different lessons came to me after I wrote about the experience. And I said, well, this can actually tie into not just running, but our everyday life. And basically between that time and sharing my story, because I very, very much am shy, I'm an introvert, but during this time, I heard you need to share your story. It's going to help someone. And that's what led me to write the book. Being motivated and being a part of the womb school with our sister Art Kathy really started me in that direction of writing my book, because it was, the person you are, you are great. And those of you who are watching this right now, whatever it is that you have in your mind that you've wanted to do for a long time, know that you are great. And my brothers and sisters can also do the same thing. And so between about March 20th to May 19th, I wrote, edited, and published my book within 2 months. So I know that was just a divine download, because I'm like, this is a lot of information to put together in that short amount of time, but I'm grateful that it decided to be something that I could relate to and share my experiences with other people about. So that's how I ended up coming to write this book, and another's coming. So yes.
Wow. So you heard it here. Another book is coming. So I just want to say thank you so much for this lovely, lovely book. And I treasure my book. So, I told somebody, if my house is on fire, I'm going to grab all my guns, my son's baby book, and, your book, as well as a few others. So thank you for this. And your life lessons, just like you said, applies to all portions of your life. Can you tell us a little bit about you mentioned your ancestors in the womb school, and shout out to Art Kathy, because things that are taboo that we've been turned away from embracing, once we went back to it, that's when life began to unfold. So can you talk to us a little bit about your spiritual journey, and give us some encouraging words about embracing our spiritual side?
Absolutely. So basically, around 2017, a whole lot began to shift in my life. Again, things began to turn upside down, family-wise, relationship-wise, and just my inner self. Everything, because these things all occurred prior to me doing the competition, prior to me, writing my book. So in 2017, one night, after dealing with everything in life, I remember laying in my bed and I was crying, and I was just like, I can't do this. I mean, I don't know which way to go. And I was on Facebook, and I remember opening my news feed, and I saw a video. And that video was shared by one of my friends, and I can't remember who it was, but I remember the video being Aunt Kathy. And I remember her sitting there. She was, going in, and she was like, share this video, and, just going off, and y'all act like y'all don't know what y'all supposed to do. Share this video. And even though she was going in, I was like intrigued, because it was something about what she was saying that spoke to me instantly. And when I looked at her video, when it was over, I went and I watched about 3 or 4 more. And I remember saying, I don't know who this lady is. I don't even know where she is. But her video showed up on my timeline for a reason, on my newsfeed for a reason. And I remember going, well, let me see if I can be friends with her. I went to her page. She had 5,000 friends. So I could not, send her a request. And, a couple days went by, and I remember hearing, go back to her page. And I'm like, go back to what? Go back to her page for what? I already know she has 5,000 friends. And I heard it again, go back to her page. And that point is when my, relationship with my ancestors instantly began. And so I went back to her page because I'm like, I don't know why I'm going back over here. You know, you have conversations with yourself. We gonna be real tonight, you know, like, I don't know why I'm going over here. I mean, I already know she got 5,000 friends. I clicked on her page and she had 4,999 friends. And at that point, I knew that our relationship was going to be pivotal in the shifting and the transformation of my life. So I went ahead and sent her the request. Within an hour, she accepted it. I joined and it was almost like turbo drive. It was like my ancestors were like, finally, she's ready, set, go, like a race. Pow, the gun went off, go. And I went ahead and I got a natal chart reading, and I'd never gotten one before that. And it was just instantly like, hey, whatever she's talking about, I've never experienced it, but I could relate. And I remember the date that I saw her video was, it was very interesting because I am an Earth, Wind, and Fire fan. And so I believe that songs have messages for you when they come into your thought process at certain times. And I actually saw her first video, September 21st, 2017. And one of my favorite songs by Earth, Wind, and Fire is, they said, do you remember the 21st night of September? And so when I look back at that, I look at that as one of my new birthdays in becoming the new me. And so after I talked to Art Kathy, then Art introduced me to Chief Montana. And she said, oh, he's a part of helping us in the womb school. You need to get a divination. Again, I was like, I have no idea what that is, but okay, let's go for it. I have no idea what a divination is, nothing. I had a divination with Chief Montana. And our conversation was it was familiar. It was like I knew what he was talking about without really knowing what he was talking about. And so he began to guide me on different things that I needed to do and things to help, return my family to its greatness. And as those things began to happen, I felt my transformation happening. I felt myself going within, and the cocooning and the blossoming into a butterfly. Is just, the whole transformation was so beautiful. And regardless of what it is that you're going through, it may feel like you have no hope or there's nothing else that you can do. But once you begin to, go along your life's path, things will begin to open up. And the opportunities that you may have been hoping for in the past will all of a sudden begin to present themselves. And so when I dealt with all of that, just the familiarity, meeting Art, seeing one of her videos, and then talking to her on the phone, talking to Chief Montana on the phone. And then it was like just basically a domino effect after that. And so now that is what I consider part of my tribe, as my sister Tieesha is now part of my tribe by meeting her via the womb school. And so for me, that is how spiritually I begin to let go of things that for so long I held on to, because I didn't want to believe I played a part in me not being successful. And during this journey, I began to notice things that would bother me to the core. Now I'm like, that's kind of messed up, but guess what? I have to keep being with life how it is. And as a result of that, now I'm becoming the new me, LaSonya 2.0, and I'm loving it. And I'm just loving the journey along the way. So, yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Again, just want to say shout out to Art Kathy, Chief Montana. Thank you so much. This community that they have, you know, put together, just attracting all of us, and using their social media and their presence here on this planet and this universe wisely. So big shout out to them. Speaking of someone else who looks, if I can say a bad word, damn good for being in his 50s is Chief. Oh my gosh. Like, yes,
Yes.
Art told us about his workout plan, and yeah, he really is killing the game. He's putting those half his age to shame, and so are you. Like, you are my goals. You are
Thank
my goals.
you.
Hey, children, can you give us a little bit of your life right now? Talk to us about what's going on with you right now. How, just taking charge of your physical well-being, your mental, your spiritual, hitting that reset button. Tell us what your life is like now. What is, if we were to shadow you for a day, what will we see in your life?
Well, the first thing is when I wake up in the morning, I am ready to start my day. In the past, I'd be like, oh gosh, snooze, snooze, snooze. How many times will this clock snooze before it just like turns itself off? Now I get up, I exercise, whether I go 6 miles or I decide to, lift weights. I do that. And then I make sure that I have, you know, breakfast. And then I make sure after that, I start working on things that are going to help my community. So having the workouts, sitting and having a conversation with someone for a consultation if they need help getting their fitness goals back on track, and just celebrating and enjoying the people in my life who are there that I know to support me. And so, other than that, being retired is amazing now. You know, being a mom has always been amazing. I'm about to become an empty nester, so that's really, really exciting. But just embracing life and saying to myself, you can do it today. Today is another day to prove to yourself that you can do it. And like I said, it's a mindset reset, because at any time, if you say, oh, I can't do that, you are now sending out the message, oh, she can't do that. Oh, he can't do that. Because whether you say you can do something or you can't do something, you're correct. So it's important to make sure that what you say to yourself with affirmations, with if you have to put on some music and hype yourself up, I do that in the morning. I'll listen to some music to get my day started, and just smile. And next thing you know, I look and it's the end of the day, enjoying nature. I love being out in nature now. And before being in the Navy and having to go to the field, I was like, oh my goodness, it's going to rain today. Oh my goodness, there's bugs, there's mosquitoes. Now there's almost not a day where you won't find me out in nature. And so I embrace it and the messages that it has for me now. And once I do that, I get information that maybe I need to send a phone call to someone and say, hey, there's something that I need to share with you. So embracing me as my spiritual self and being there to be service to our community and helping those who on their journey may be stuck or may not be sure what it is that they're called to do. I am now on that part of my journey to helping, our fellow brothers and sisters to basically reconnect with their ancestors, reconnect with their true self, and just make sure that that someone is here for you. And it's genuinely here for you. No hidden agenda. I can relate. If something happens, chances are there's a person in your tribe that is being led to you to help you to, deal with that or share a message for you. And so basically during my day, I do that. I like dancing around and just celebrating, because I notice now all of those things have an energy. And so if you like to dance, I didn't say if you couldn't dance. If you like to dance, get up and dance, because your body will automatically give you that feeling that you need to make, whatever was going on with you, at ease. And so being at ease is another thing I'm working with myself to make sure that I continue to do, so that I can continue to stay on this path and, reverse, the clock, and I'll be 46 this year. And, just being able to, let our people know that, hey, we got this. We've got this.
Beautiful. And I got a text from someone. They don't want to leave a comment on the open, but I will read it. They have a compliment. They say, your story is very, very inspiring. And thank you for being here tonight. And they were saying you are glowing. They were like melanin queens.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I must admit, yes, I did join the wrong branch. I should have joined the Marine Corps. They heard you say the Marine Corps Marathon. So yes, okay. I love the Marines. The Marines taught me how to shoot. The Marines hold my heart. Okay, I have to go ahead and say that, get it out there. But go Navy.
I actually had a gunnery sergeant who told me that I joined the wrong service when I was in. He was like, "You're supposed to be in the Navy," and I'm like, "What does that mean?" And he's like, "Your energy, like you have that drive to help people." I'm like, the Navy doesn't have that. And he, it was a running joke. And when I left that command, I remember them giving me a plaque that said, HM2, I joined the wrong service, McDonald. Thank you for, I'm like, really? What am I supposed to do with this? So yeah.
The Marines are known for having the baddest bodies and the sharpest shooting skills. I'm gonna go ahead and admit it. They can go ahead and coin this phrase, turn me into a gif or a meme, but yeah, the Marines. So you definitely fit that, because it's all about health, and I see Marines who are like, they have on their hats like veteran this from this war. They in their 70s, spine is still straight. They have muscle, definition. It's like, that's what's up. So can you also tell us also in this comment the importance of accountability partner, in particular a fitness coach, because that's a new term nowadays. So can you stress to us the importance of having a fitness coach and fitness accountability partners?
Absolutely. So having a fitness coach is not to be negative towards you, but it ties in with being a fitness accountability partner, because you want someone who's going to be there to say, hey, are we working out today? Okay, we're going to work out. What time are we going to work out? Oh, okay, we're going to go running. Okay, I'll meet you here at this time. It helps you to achieve your goals, and it helps you to ensure that what it is you want to do with your body, that you actually do it. Oh, what'd you eat today? Oh, I had a cookie, or I had a sandwich. Okay, what else? Oh, really? That's it. I didn't eat that much. Okay, well, not eating enough can have an adverse effect on your weight goals as well. So someone being there to be able to basically help you, to coach and guide you along on your journey to make sure that you keep those things in mind: eating, drinking enough water, moving your body. And especially now with everything going on, it is very important that we move. Even if you go up and down your steps at your house, even if you run in place, do jumping jacks, there's something that you have to do to move your body. So a fitness accountability coach can help ensure that that happens, because that person, i.e. me, I would want to make sure that you reach your goals. And so I can celebrate with you and say, okay, sis, you did it. You got it. See, that wasn't so bad. I can't say hard because it might have been challenging, but I can be like, see, that wasn't so bad. Okay, brother, I'm glad to be a part of helping you to, move back into how you used to be, or to help you to say, oh, it feels good to actually get up and work out in the morning, or to, make sure I drink enough water, make sure that I eat enough and not feel guilty about it. Because my goal wouldn't be to make anyone feel bad. It's to hold you accountable. It's to hold you accountable, because all of those things are going to be important to helping make sure that you get those nice toned arms and, flat abs, and ultimately six pack, if that's what you're going for, that your legs are nice and toned, so that basically everyday functions can still happen to help you to be able to move. So if nothing else, not saying you have to do a bodybuilding competition, but you want to keep your body in shape so that you can function and be able to move on your own. Because like I said, in the past, my knees were done from all the runs and the marches and the weight gain. All of those things play a factor. And so if I was wanting someone to be my accountability partner, I'd want them to say, okay, LaSonya, did you work out today? Did you go walking? And if you did, or if you didn't, just know that that person is just to be someone to reassure you, to remind you, not to beat you up about it. Because, if you don't do it today, I'll be there tomorrow to remind you again. And don't ever say, I'll start tomorrow. Start right then and there, because, if you wait till Monday to start, what happened for Tuesday through Sunday? You could already be ahead of your goal. So definitely, as a fitness accountability coach, my job is to make sure that at the end of your journey, that you can say, hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you holding me accountable. I may not have liked you every day. That you like, oh, I wish she would stop texting me because I really don't want to work out today. But that's what I'm here for, to encourage you to reach your goals. So,
and that is so important, because now we're in the days of my 600-pound life, and like old age is in your 50s, and I'm like, what happened to 80s, 90s, and 100? And that's one of my goals. I will celebrate my 100th birthday. So I'm so glad that you came into my life so that we can make this happen. And when you come down here to visit me in Georgia, we're going to go and do some line dance. You said dancing. Don't know if you know how to dance, but you like to dance. So I may not be on beat, but I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it look sexy, like Kendrick Lamar said. One of a text that had came in, they asked, what was some of the bad habits you had to cut out of your life from when you went from 220 up to now? Like, what were some of your bad habits that you had to eliminate?
Okay, that's actually an amazing question. And thank you for the person who asked that. Because again, like I said, I myself needed to be held accountable. And the bad habits is, there would be days where I would just eat junk the whole day. There were days when I wouldn't eat at all. I wouldn't drink enough water, and my body would automatically tell me when I wouldn't drink enough water, because I would feel it. The dehydration would come in. Another bad habit is being around toxic people. And at one point, I was that toxic person because I wasn't willing to be, real with myself and say, okay, LaSonya, you have to get rid of your negative thoughts about yourself. You have to get rid of, how you feel when someone says something or react a certain way when certain people respond to you in a certain fashion. And so for me, getting rid of toxic energy from around me was a bad habit, because you want the pity parties and oh my goodness and oh my goodness. There's a difference between sharing something because it's going to jolt a response that's positive for someone else, and sharing something because you just want to keep reliving it, like Groundhog Day. And as the movie goes, after a while, he figured it out. And so for me, that was how it was. After a while, I figured out what was it that I was doing that was causing, those negative habits to continue to basically make me feel over and over again like, you can't do this. You're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not, all of these things that sometimes the negative habits are instilled in us by us. And we have to be willing to break free of those. And once I had my mindset reset and I began to say, your journey starts now. Your new journey starts now. And now's the time that you have to get rid of this. Even if that means certain people that you feel in your life should be there, you'll know it, because eventually they'll just, just kind of like wander off and disappear out of your life. And so that was something that I am grateful now that I got rid of. And, the not working out, and sometimes working out, or I'm running up this trail. Okay, right here is good enough. I'm gonna stop working out, those type of things. But at the end of the day, if you tell yourself, oh, that's good enough, and you know that you had more to go, you're cheating yourself. And so I had to get rid of that negative habit of cheating myself. Oh, I'm going to do, 12 reps of this. Oh, okay, I'm tired. 8's good enough. Just because no one is watching doesn't mean that it wasn't known that I didn't do what I wanted for me. So those are some of the habits that I had to get rid of. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to help other people, because I'd have to have my own, positive habits in place to say, okay, we can do this together.
Perfect. And one thing that we talked about yesterday, and I think this would be perfect to, wrap up our video tonight, and just want to say thank you to you for everything that you share with us tonight, just being so transparent and being honest. And really, we can see the love that you have, not only for yourself, that you have for us, and your confidence and your beauty. So thank you so much. The word that we talked about last night was consistency. And you can understand me being a fellow Sagittarian, it's like we're everywhere, consistent. Like me, I'll go ahead and be transparent for a moment. I'll start something, and then I'll say, oh, squirrel. And then I'll see something that's shiny, and I'll go towards that. Can you tell us how important consistency is? And in the realm of, everyone now is looking for that quick fix to their issues. You went from 220 to bodybuilding physique without surgery, without, cheats or anything like that. Can you talk to us about consistency and how important that is, and how important it is to, do things the right way versus looking for that next fad diet or that quick fix with surgery or that cheat?
Absolutely. So as my sister Tieesha just mentioned, consistency is very, very vital to your goals, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And so in being consistent, you have to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to commit to it, and I'm going to make sure that I see it to the end. And when you do that, what happens is it becomes a habit, but it becomes a positive habit. And so if you're expecting your goal to happen instantly, because for anyone who may be just coming on the live, I didn't go from 220 to bodybuilding physique overnight. there was a process to where I was at a certain weight, and then I decided to do the bodybuilding. But the thing is, I had to make sure 6 days a week I worked out, whether I felt like it or not, whether my knees were bothering me or not, whether I was sleepy, whether I was tired. I was always hungry during the competition, so that doesn't count. But whether I was happy, whether I was sad, irritated, we can't expect the microwave result. Like I was saying yesterday, opening the microwave, closing it, open the microwave, close it. It's not done. You have to make sure that you stay consistent, because over time, you will begin to see the results of your consistency. And so once you see those results happening, you feel good, and then you can celebrate that achievement, but then you have to keep going. And then you have to ensure that you stay consistent in maintaining that goal that you're actually achieving, because you don't want to put in all of that work and effort and then turn around and reverse it by saying, woo, yes, I did a bodybuilding competition. Now I'm getting ready to go to, a buffet every day this coming week to celebrate. Because, Vegas has buffets left and right, but you can't do that. You can celebrate and have something here or there, but that consistency to know you're going to make sure, okay, now it's time for me to work out. Okay, now it's time for me to eat the portions. And that's a part of consistency, because diet, I don't like saying diet because that seems quick, but nutrition is a part of being consistent when you're trying to achieve a goal. And so when you make sure that you keep your focus on what your goal is, the consistency will automatically begin to surface. And you won't be motivated every day. You will not. But your dedication and your determination and your truth within yourself to be consistent will keep you on that path. And like I have as my motto, stay focused, be consistent, because when you're focused, your mind is on what it is that you're doing. And when you're consistent, you'll see the results of it at the end of your journey. So.
Can you give us a challenge? Like, everyone is watching tonight, and if you can, head over to Instagram and follow LaSonya McDonald on Instagram. Go ahead and send her a friend request and like her page here on Facebook. Subscribe to LaSonya McDonald here on YouTube. Can you tell us what you have cooking on your multiple platforms, and what can we expect from you in the future?
Absolutely. And I appreciate, again, my sister Tieesha for having this live together, because the consistency in that has now caused me to be accountable, because now my YouTube channel is about to have fitness challenges during the week. I am going to be giving fitness tips on Fridays and different things to just help you to be able to achieve your fitness goals. So you may find me on there once I reach 1,000 friends or 5,000 subscribers, because my daughter told me, Mom, you can't go live on YouTube until you have 1,000 subscribers. So children, they have all this technology. So of course she shared that with me. But once I get to that point, I will be doing live workouts on my YouTube channel. And then I will also on my YouTube put out fitness challenges and ultimately give something away if that person is the one who actually had the best results from those fitness challenges. So being consistent is going to be very, very important. And at that time, I'll be your virtual fitness accountability coach. Just if you show up on my YouTube channel, I'll be your accountability coach, because you'll look at the video and say, okay, she did that. Okay, let me go over here and try to do it. Even though she's not watching me, let me go ahead and commit to myself to do the workouts. And I actually wanted to put a workout challenge out to see if anyone does it. And if you do, you can go to my Facebook page. LaSonya McDonald Unlimited is my business page. You can go over there and you can send me a message and say, I completed the challenge, challenge number 1. So this will be challenge number 1. So what the challenge is to do 20 leg lifts. So leg lifts is you're just sitting on the floor and lifting your legs, okay? One each, one at a time. 20 flutter kicks, which you lay down and it's like you're swimming and you're kicking your legs, okay? 10 shoulder touches. Shoulder touches, you're in a push-up position and you pick one hand off the floor and you touch your shoulder while the other hand is on the floor. That's a shoulder touch, okay? And a 1-minute plank. Do all of those exercises back to back. So it's a superset, okay? Well, actually, it's more than the superset. It's like 2 supersets. But you're going to do each one back to back. Give yourself a minute rest and do that 4 times. And I assure you, your body will feel it. And if you stay consistent with it, you'll start seeing results in your arms, in your abs, because the plank is for your abs. The shoulder touches are going to help you to stabilize your body and your core. The flutter kicks are going to help your legs and your abs, as well as the leg lifts. So that's where most people say, how do I get rid of my gut? How do I get rid of my stomach? If you do this workout, you will see some results. And I'm just excited to be able to interact with everyone here today on this live. And I appreciate you embracing me and actually coming on this live and listening to my story and just, sharing your time with us today, because, time is valuable and you chose today to come and share it with us. So we appreciate you for that.
So pretty soon we're going to see, hashtag Body by LaSonya pretty soon.
Yes, because listen, I'll be proud to be a part of your journey to saying you reached your goal. So yes.
Thank you for everything you have provided and shared with us tonight. Once again, if you want to go ahead and talk about your links, where can we find you? Can you tell us more again about the special you have going on with the fitness accountability that you have going on, the special that is available for those watching tonight to act on it tonight to get this great deal, and also your book. So can you let us know about that before we close out?
Absolutely. So again, my book can be found on Amazon. So it's called Run Your Race, Life Lessons of a Sprinter. So you can get it there, or you can go to my website, LaSonyaMcDonald.com, and purchase a book there, and you'll get an autographed copy. So that's the difference between the two. You can find me on YouTube, LaSonya McDonald. So it's just my name straight out. And you can come on Instagram and follow me there, which is LaSonya.McDonald. And then I'll be sharing some fun little exercise snippets and different things about our mental health and, nature on that channel, and on LaSonya McDonald Unlimited on my business Facebook page. And if you want to be my friend, you can send me a request. It's LaSonya McDonald on my regular page. And again, the special is the fitness bundle. It's normally $125, where you get the call consultation with me. You also get me as your fitness accountability coach for 14 days. And you get a fitness workout plan that we will work together to create for you. If you're one of the first 2 people between the end of this video and midnight to sign up for that fitness bundle, you'll get me as your coach for an additional 14 days. If you can handle it, because remember, I'm going to make sure to hold you accountable and be consistent. Those 2 people will get me as their coach for 28 days. For the same price. So you can send it to my CashApp, which is $FitwithLaSonya, or you can send it PayPal, which is LaSonya McDonald, the number 8 at gmail.com, or you can go on the website, LaSonyaMcDonald.com, and sign up for it. So whichever is easier for you, flexible, as long as you make sure that you do what it is that you're wanting to do to make yourself more healthy and more fit along your journey.
Thank you so much. I love you with all of my heart. And I just want to say thank
Love you
you for
too.
being a great sister and just someone that really invests her whole heart into us. So not only did you and the other corpsmen care for me when I was at sick call active duty, you're caring for me now in the civilian world. So thank you so much. I encourage everyone to like, subscribe, share, follow LaSonya McDonald on all her platforms, and keep this up. And let's definitely stay in touch and record our results. Let's let 2020 be our best year and the year that we hit that reset button seriously, and we can
Yes.
look back on these goals. That's one thing I love about Facebook memories. You can look back to see where you were and really keep track of your progress, and having a fitness accountability coach and a personal trainer such as LaSonya, who can reach you on multiple platforms. Instagram, I know Facebook just started the Facebook meeting rooms. She has a way to connect with you and keep you on point with your goals and guarantee your results. So thank you for sharing everything tonight.
You're
So
welcome.
that's all that we have. This was beautiful. I definitely see you again. You're always welcome back here on my channel. I'm just so honored to share you with my audience, and we just continue to build because we need positive sisters, positive Black women like yourself that is doing something constructive. Like, the elder Neely Fuller Jr. says constructive, and you're also inspiring everyone around us. So thank you so much for this tonight. Let's say thank you to everyone who joined tonight, left comments. Shout out to the moderators. Like I said, go ahead and act now on that special. You have 28 days to hit that reset button and get your life together. So contact LaSonya McDonald tonight and take advantage of this great deal before midnight. Well, say thank you to everybody, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and we love you. And
Bye.